So you might have found me and this channel through this slightly viral video about external audit, and if you subscribed and followed me through my career journey over the last year, you'll know I recently moved into a totally new role in the deep dark depths of consulting, specifically as a tech consultant. And by tech consultant I just mean I work now as a management consultant of sorts in software delivery, software development. So I had to prepare for a few interviews for this role while I was in the transfer process, and to understand what consulting really meant I had to do a lot of research. I discovered that consulting is this huge ginormous umbrella of work that covers a lot of different careers, and the more people I asked for advice, the more actual careers I uncovered, which led me to discovering, what I was actually interviewing for in terms of the specific role and how I would add value to a team. It's a role in the ideation, the development, and I guess the delivery of an intangible product. So on a very high level, it's like digital products like apps, websites, features of apps and websites. And working in the consulting side of tech meant that there were a lot of elements of the management consulting role that you needed, and this means that companies will come to my firm and use us to consult on ideating, developing and delivering this role, potentially all three phases, or just one of those things for an intangible product. It might not even be a product that they know they want. They might just have an idea of something that they want to do, and we will help them on that. So I'm not really helping my firm do it, I'm helping my firm do it for clients, and that's what the consulting side of tech means. It also means that the actual intangible products that you work on could really differ quite vastly. So you could be working in public sector, you could be working in financial service, you could be working in private sector. There's so many different things that you can do and develop and work on. And in a tech consulting team, you will generally have a team structure that looks a little bit like this. And there are usually client side roles in this, like for example the product owner, someone who owns the definition and structure of the product and knows this is what it has to look like, this is what we'd ideally love it to look like. And then on your team that you'll be working on, you'll have roles like the business analysts, the architects, the developers, the testers. There'll be maybe delivery people, there'll be maybe a scrum master, and my specific role is as a business analyst. And because my specific team is quite a technical one, I am working in the capacity of a technical business analyst, and that means that the product people, so product owners and product managers, tend to sit on the client side team. And because I work on a really large project, actually the people who manage and navigate the delivery of the product, so anyone to do with delivery, they've got their own team. Anyone to do with quality assurance, they've got their own team. Anyone to do with the architecture, they've got their own team, just because of how big the size of the project I'm working on is. So on my specific team, there are a couple of BAs, a couple of testers, and a couple of developers. The BAs kind of take on the role of business analysis and kind of scrum mastering. We can kind of split those responsibilities as and when they come. Someone can take a hold of the product backlog in terms of writing up tickets, writing stories, writing up acceptance criteria, and someone can take a hold of more, the project management or delivery of whatever kind of phase we're in right now. So a tech consultant could fall in any of these roles, like a developer, a tester, anything, because you're a consultant working in tech on this team. Because tech consulting is a way for businesses to design and implement tech. It just covers a very wide range of careers. And while I am a little bit more technical right now, there are teams more involved in the design of products and in the transformation of maybe existing digital services, in the digital strategy that a client needs to innovate, or implementing a tech product to help a client increase their revenue. There's just loads of different objectives for these projects. So what do I actually do day to day? Let's talk about it. So as a business analyst / scrum person on my team, I'll be managing the product backlog. So in software development, you tend to work with software such as Jira. I say it both ways because I've heard too many people say both versions and I don't know which one's correct. I also don't want to sound American. It's similar to kind of creating notes on your phone, except with a really wide range of very specific fields related to the category of the note and provide more detail for the note. So in a business analyst role here, you manage this list of notes, and they're kind of set up in a Kanban format. So making sure that each ticket is progressing through the Kanban board at an acceptable, reasonable pace, in line with the schedule of the current project, in line with the schedule of the team, and also in line with the capacity of the team. So do all the testers have something they can work on? Do all the developers have something they can work on? Do all the BAs have something that they can work on, analyze, yada. And in line with managing the backlog, it's kind of making sure that everyone knows what they're doing in terms of the ticket detail. This means, and this is part of your job as a BA, making sure that you're communicating really well with pretty technical members of the team, like developers developers or solution architects, as well as other BAs and product owners. And as a technical BA, you really have to know the right questions to ask these people, the right way to ask these questions, and the right people to ask these questions to, because you're often working in a quite technical environment. You're using a language that you don't really understand, that's not even English sometimes. You need to kind of know what's what by talking to all these different stakeholders involved. So you'll be having all these conversations with relevant stakeholders, and sometimes these people will be like product experts or client-side product owners who will kind of tell you guidelines and push you in the right direction. About the problems that you're trying to solve, like specific problems maybe a developer has run into, or you found out that something that the client wants to do is actually impossible and will actually take maybe a week longer and a little extra work from the developers. Problems you're solving can be quite a annoying and vague phrase that is often used in like the consulting industry, but as a BA you're basically trying to identify like a true business problem, like a commercial business problem, and figure out how to solve it with your team. The business problem is often delegated or shaped by the whole reason behind the project, like the reason behind the contract you have with this client and why you're working together in the first place. So as a technical BA, I could be trying to figure out the problem with like the software architecture, why it's maybe preventing the business from doing something, or maybe how we can adjust the architecture to allow something extra to be implemented that the business wants, and figuring out like the system-based answer for that. So there's a business problem and then there's a technical solution that will allow that problem to be solved through other means. And the problem we uncovered might just be something we realized we have to do to get the client to their end goal anyway. So this means, like I said, talking through things with developers, solution architects, other BAs, product owners, and sometimes just doing your own research on stuff as well. And understanding of like the right systems and the right coding languages can really help in this specific role. And off the back of that, really good communication skills are like gold dust in this role, I think, because you need to have productive conversations with such a wide range of different people who are understanding and communicating different things to you and to other members of the team. Building a good rapport with these people, asking the right questions in the right way is literally like the way to save your life. It's the only way to get things done in this role. You speak to people in such different roles, from your team to the client side, all day, so being able to manage these conversations well and make them good ones is an essential skill in this role. So that's quite about it in terms of what I do. There are, more specific things that I do in terms of writing out acceptance criteria, writing user stories and things like that. Those things are things I found out about the role, just through Googling. So I kind of wanted to add a little bit of context to all of that with this video. So I hope it did help. And I'm actually really excited to refilm this video in maybe like 6 months to a year to see what's changed, just because the consulting world is so different and there are so many really different exciting things that you can get involved in. So keep an eye out for an updated version of this video, and let's see if my job changes. The consulting hat is really a magic hat. Thanks for watching, guys, and to be honest, if you've got a different definition of a tech consultant and you do something different in your daily job, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.